everything that you prayed for, everything that you asked for is why you're going through what you're going through. It's the process. The process. I don't know what that is for you. I don't know what that means for you as far as your process, but just know the process that you're going through, that God is taking you through, is to prepare you to get to the life that you asked for, the things that you prayed about, the things you said you wanted to make happen. You now have to become a different person in order to achieve that. You can't be the same person. You can't go back to being someone you thought you used to be in order to get to the future version of yourself. So, like Steve Harvey said at the end, just stop tripping in the process, right? Like it's just the way it goes. It's the way it goes. You have character building seasons, you have character building years, you have valleys. It's the only way you're going to become better. We don't learn when we're always winning. When you're always winning, when you're always at the top, when you're always the best, you're not learning as much about yourself. But when you are in the low moments, when you're in the adversities, you're in the valley, you're figuring it out, you're heading through the process, that's when you are being chiseled and carved and formed into the man or woman that God called you to be, into all of the things that you want to make happen. So you got to always remember that. This is a part of the process. Don't complain about the process. If you've asked for a big life, if you've asked for more than what you have, if you've asked for anything outside of what you're experiencing right now, then don't be upset when you have to go through the crap. When you got to go through the crap, when you got to get through it, it's because it's molding you, it's shaping you. Some of the things you heard in there, you got to learn, number one, discipline those emotions, right? We are not our emotions. You are not your emotions. You are not your feelings, and you will not feel your way into doing things. You got to discipline your emotions during this journey, during this process of getting to your ideal life and becoming the best version of yourself. You got to discipline your emotions. You can't let your emotions dictate your life. Some days you're going to feel like it. Some days you're not going to feel like it. Do you still do it? Or do you only do it on the days you feel like it? That's not how we get to the ideal life. That's how the masses might live. They might say, oh, I'm not feeling it today, so I'm going to slack off today. It's not going to be my day. When you're a champion, you're like, hey, no matter whether I feel like going to this gym or I don't feel like going to this gym, I'm going to the gym. Whether I feel like making phone calls in my business or I don't feel like making phone, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to do it. It's the action. We learn to discipline those emotions, and then immediate massive action. It's what Tony Robbins said in there. He said, you got to take immediate massive action. Once you feel something, once you make a decision about something, then you have to take immediate massive action. Here's something to calibrate yourself in. If you know that you want to make a change, let's say you want to make a change in your health, right? Because again, all of this stuff ties together. All of it is success. Let's say you want to make a change in your health, and you know right at that moment something happens to you, right? You feel not great, whatever, and you want to make a change. Here's what we don't do. We don't say, coming up on Monday, I'm going to change my diet, right? We don't push it out. If you feel it right then and you say, I'm going to wait until Monday and then change things, you didn't really make a decision. Instead, if you feel something right at that moment, you make the decision and take immediate massive action right at that time. It's not, I wait until Monday to make the change. I'm making the change right now because I just made the decision in my mind. And the only way we confirm that we made a decision is if we take immediate massive action towards that thing. That's how it works. And that's what Tony Robbins was talking about, right? Making that decision and then taking immediate massive action behind it. I'm going to dive in because I think this correlates well with what's in the text of champions believe in choice. Just the fact that you have the ability to make the decision is something you always got to remember, gives you power, gives you ownership of your life. Just knowing that there's nothing out there that you have to do if you don't want to do it. I say that statement a bunch, and I know sometimes people are like, no, I really do have to do this thing. Like I have to go to my job. You actually don't have to do anything. right? My grandma used to always say, "You gotta do nothing but stay black and die," right? Like that's all she would say, right? But it's true. You don't really have to do anything. Now, there's consequences, right? Your life can change. Things will be completely different. Like if you just chose to not show up to work, yeah, you're out of a paycheck, right? You're gonna have to find another job or get something else rolling. Sure, like there's gonna be a major change. Like you could choose to not pay your mortgage, sure, right? But like they'll probably come take your house and right, things will start happening. But just knowing that you have a choice in everything that you do in this life, you, me, like we choose what to do. We make decisions, we put massive action behind it, but at the end of the day, we have a choice. You always got to remember that. Some people play victim and don't believe they have a choice in the things that they're doing. And so here's what it says in the text. It says champions believe in choice. It says just as amateurs see themselves as victims of circumstance, professional performers believe they possess the ultimate human freedom, which is the power to choose. Average people get out of bed in the morning and say, I have to go to work. Champions know they don't have to do anything they choose not to do. This mindset impacts every decision of both amateurs and professionals. Amateurs feel they are at the mercy of the gods. Professionals carefully construct a life based on a series of choices they make. This sense of control increases the professional's ambitious drive. It's also one of the reasons champions appear to be so much happier than average people. They know their choices really control their destiny. They believe they can be anyone they want to be, do anything they want to do, and have anything they want to have. Their belief in this concept becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, which builds psychological momentum and makes the belief stronger every day. This is the mindset, ladies and gentlemen, we have to adapt. If you don't have this mindset that you believe you can be anyone you want to be, do anything you want to do, and have anything you want to have. Zero limitations. The only limitations are in your mind. That becomes a mindset. You can become anyone you want to become. Anyone. Anything your mind can see, anything. You can become that person. You can do anything you want to do. With whatever time you have left on this earth, do you believe that you can do anything that you want to do? And then that you can have anything you want to have? Or is there a limitation? Or do we say, I don't need much? That's not really the case. It's not that we need much, but do you believe that you can have anything that you want to have? Mindset. If we can adapt this thinking, we can start creating different outcomes in our life. If we can adapt this thinking that, man, I can choose, I get a choice every day of who I am, of what I'm doing, of who I'm becoming, of what I have. Like I choose that every single day. Every day that God gives us breath, that we wake up, we have a choice. That is the ultimate human freedom, is that we have choice. God gives us choice. Like we can choose anything. And then we start to design the life that we want. But we got to believe this first, right? This is a belief. This is getting to the core of your beliefs. Sometimes we don't believe these things. Sometimes we don't believe we can become different. That's just the way I am. That's how I've been my whole life. That runs in my family. That like these are all limiting beliefs, things that we hear said over and over again that then program us to believe we're something that maybe we're not. So we have to kind of rewire that. We got to start telling ourselves who we are, who we believe we are, who we want to become. Like that's how we have to start speaking over ourselves. And that belief, right? That belief in our mind will change again. The actions, the habits, the things that we start doing. If you believed you are a multi-million-dollar CEO running a company, how would you act every day if you believed it? I know you might not see it right now, I know wherever you're at, you're not the multi-million-dollar CEO, but what if you were? What if that's your destiny? What if that's who you believe you are? Then how would your habits and behaviors change if you kept telling yourself that that's who you are? You would do things differently. You would act differently. You would have different friends. You would watch different things. You would spend time doing different things if that was your belief. So that's how powerful this is, y'all. This is all mindset stuff, but we got to know that you have a choice to choose the life that you want. Start with this belief that you can become anyone you want to become. You can do anything that you want to do. You can have anything you want to have. There's no limitation to this except for what's in your mind. And so we have to now go to work knowing every day that we get a choice to become better. We get a choice to not become better, right? We get a choice on all the things. And so once you adapt this mindset, y'all, I'm telling you, it changes your life. It changes your life. Here's what Viktor Frankl says in the book. He says, everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. I think Steve Harvey said it in the video. Life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it. Said another way, life is 10% your circumstances, 10% what is happening in your life, 90% your choice of attitude around those things. 90% of our life is how we choose to look at our life, how we choose to look at our circumstance, how we choose to look at who we are and what we have and what we want to build. Like, it's a choice. You can choose optimism. You can choose pessimism. It's a choice, right? You can choose to have hope. You can choose to be full of despair. Like, everything is a choice. You might be programmed or conditioned to feel one way. And if that way that you're feeling or thinking or believing is not in accordance to what you want to make happen, then you have to change, right? You have to make a decision to change how you're thinking about that thing. It's a choice. It's all a choice. The power of this gives you ownership over your life. Once you really believe everything in your life you choose, you know that there's nothing external outside of you that can control you. It's a powerful belief, y'all. Super powerful belief. Here's the action step for today. It says, make a list of the things you feel you have no choice about doing and revisit each one of them. Do you really have to do them, or are you choosing to do them? Could some of the less desirable things be omitted simply by making a choice? Delusion says you must do these things. Objective reality says you always have a choice because you are in control. You are in control of your life. That is the message for today. You are in control of your life. Full control. Full control. Like I said, there's always, if you make some major changes, of course there's going to be some consequences, some differences, some things that you're going to now have to navigate in life. But if you just know that you have the choice, you have the ability to change it, man, life opens up, y'all. Life opens up, and we get a chance to do all the things that we want to do, become the people we want to become, have the things we want to have, right? Get a chance to do the things that we want to do. And that's what this is about. Remember, we get on these calls so we can design our ideal life. It doesn't matter what your family wants or what the masses deal with or what your coworkers talk about, none of that. You want to get to your ideal life, the designing a life you don't need a break from. Most people need a break from their life. They're like, man, I can't handle this anymore. It's because they're not designing their ideal life. You got to go off and design it. And you choose what that life is, and then you choose how to change your emotions, discipline your emotions in order to get to that life. But that's what we got to go do, y'all. Because it's too crowded down here at the bottom. It's time to get to the top of this thing. I love you guys. I want y'all to win. You deserve to win. Your families deserve to win. The people around you are counting on you to take in this information. Imagine if you designed your ideal life, how many people you'd be able to bring along with you, how many people you'd be able to bless with you, right? I know somebody had said this one time, right? If you're in business or you're building something and you're only building it for you and your comfort, right? You're being selfish. If you have the ability, I know you might not think you need millions of dollars, but there's a ton of people you could bless if you have the ability to bring in and create millions of dollars worth of income for yourself and your family. Man, think of all the people that you can bless. If you're only thinking about, well, I only need $1,000, I only need $100,000, I'm good. It's a really selfish way to look at life. Life is about being able to bless other people. So we build, we grow, we get better. The reason why I say your family's counting on you, people are counting on you, is because it's true. If they don't actually grow in the same ways, they're counting on you to get this information so you can grow, so you can emotionally support them in 6 years, so you can financially support them in 3 years, so that you can take care of your parents, so that you could take care of your siblings. Like that is going to be your burden, right? Like it's just the way it goes because you're here getting this message. They're not here. So we got to go off and do it. We always got to remember that we're building something big, not just for us, but for the people around us, for the people that love us, that we love, that we care about. We have to go off and do this work. Sometimes it's hard and sometimes it's daunting, and right, it's stuff that maybe we don't always want to go through, but I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it as long as you keep growing, you keep learning, y'all. All right. Go off, enjoy your weekend. Love you guys. We'll see you back here on Monday to start off September. Take care.